problem solving and programming using C class. Myself, I am Shravani, Assistant Professor from the Department of CSC. Today I am going to cover the third part from your control structures. In your first part, you have covered selection statements like if else, nested if, switch case, right? Now, in your second part, you have covered all the repetitive statements like for loop, while loop, and do while loop, right? And in the third part, that is in today's lecture, we are going to cover unconditional statements like go to, break, continue, right? Now, as we had already mentioned, control structures are basically categorized into two types. One is conditional and the other one is unconditional. Under conditional, we'll have selection and repetition, and these two we had already covered. And in today's lecture, I'm going to cover this unconditional statements. Now, coming to the classification or types of control structures, once again we'll have a recap of it. Here basically the control structures or control statements are divided into two types. One is conditional and the other one is unconditional, right? So under conditional means we will specify some condition. We will specify some condition to attain the corresponding or to execute corresponding statements, right? Now here under conditional we have two categories. One is selection and the other one is iteration. Selection means all the decision making statements, right? And iteration means loops, right? We have covered all these four as part of your part 1. Now, and we had also covered this even while loop, for loop, and do while loop under part 2. Right? Now, at present, in today's lecture, I'm going to cover this unconditional statements, break, continue, and go to. Return is a keyword which is used for returning the value to a function. And basically, this return statement will have a clear-cut picture in the chapter called functions, right? But in today's class, you are going to have a more knowledge on break, continue, and go to. Now, coming to the break statement. Your first statement is a break. So generally, what is the meaning of break? Break is nothing but stop for some time, right? Stop for some time. If you are in a car driving, so for suppose if you are getting any obstacle suddenly, what you'll do? You'll press on brake, right? Nothing but to stop for some time, and then you'll continue your journey, right? So in the same manner, here also a break statement in your C programming. So how it works, we'll see that, right, in programming. Now this break statement is used in switch case, loops, do while loop, and even the for loop, right? And it is used for termination from the block. Okay, that is, for example, if I am working in some, these are my statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. Here I have a break statement, let us consider, right? And here statement 4 and here statement 5. So likewise I'm having some set of statements, and this is my block, let us consider. So I have entered into this block such that all these 3 statements have been executed. Now here I encountered with break. So what happens is, if I encountered with break, so immediately the control will comes over here. Here the remaining statements will not be executed. Even for suppose if it is in a loop, even that condition will also not checked. Directly it will come out of the corresponding block where the break is encountered, right? So here if a break is encountered within the block, then immediately the control will come out of the particular block. That is a basic definition of your that is a basic definition of your break statement, right? Now coming to the syntax is nothing but write down the break and then semicolon. Break is a keyword used for terminating the loop immediately after it is encountered. Nothing but here, if you want to terminate or if you want to come out of the loop, you'll use break statement, right? Now coming to the break, for example, here I had given you in picture with 3 loops. Okay, first one is a while loop, while test expression. So here I have some set of statements within the while loop, and then if condition, and then here I have used a break. So here, since this test expression is evaluates to true, I have entered into the while loop, and here I have executed this set of statements, and after that here I have encountered with if condition. So since this condition is evaluates to true, here I have a statement called break. So immediately the control will come out of the loop. Okay, immediately the control will come out of the loop. Not only this if block, it will come out of the loop. So here the control will be, that is, it is out of the while loop, right? So now, for example, in the do while loop also, so if the break is here, it is not only come after the if, it is come out of the do while loop. That is, you might think that since it is in the if block, maybe it will come out of the if block, but the remaining statements within the do while loop might be executed. No, the control will come out of the loop directly. So here the break, since the break encountered here, the control will comes over the out of the loop. Now here also break encounter, so here also the control comes out of the for loop. Now I want to show you a sample program on break statement. Now here int j is equal to 0, so here j value initialized with 0, and here I have checked with the condition called 0 is less than or equal to 8, condition satisfied. Now what happened if j is equal to 4? Is that j is equal to 4? No. So what is the next statement? Printf %d comma j. So here I am writing the output. So now what is the j value? 0. So 0 gets printed, right? Next the control will move to here. So now j plus plus, so now j will be incremented with 1. Now again I'm checking with the condition 1 less than or equal to 8, condition satisfied. Now again I'll come over here, j is equal to 4. No, j is not equal to 4, so I'll come over here. So printf %d j. So now 0 1 will be printed. Now again j plus plus, the control comes over here. J plus plus means again 1 will be incremented. Now it will be j will be now 2. So now 2 less than or equal to 8, condition will be checked. Even this is also true. So again this will be printed. So 0 1 2. Now again j will be incremented. Now j value is 3. Now 3 less than or equal to 8. Even this condition is also satisfied. Even this condition is also satisfied. So now what happened? 3 will be printed because j is not equal to 4. Now again j is equal to 4, right? Now 4 less than or equal to 8, condition satisfied. So now it will enters into the loop. If j is equal to 4, here j is equal to 4. So now what here I have? Break statement. So immediately the control will comes out of the loop. Now here what is the statement? I have written 0. So simply I will come out of this main program. So what happens? 0 1 2 3 will be displayed as a output for this program, because here when j is equal to 4, break means the control should come out of the loop. So which means that remaining all the here j plus plus will not be executed, and even this will also be not executed. Directly the control come out of the loop. That is how the break statement will be executed. And this is a sample output I'm showing you, 0 1 2 3. Now the other statement under unconditional statements is continue. You are if you are using a break statement, simply you are terminating from the loop, right? Whereas if you are using a continue statement, which means that here you are going to skip the statements after the continue, but the remaining conditions you are going to check. Okay, so that is what continue says. So here to skip the loop and begin with the next iteration, to skip the current loop and begin with the next iteration. That is, for example, here let us consider I am in a loop. Okay, here this is my statement 1 and statement 2, and continue here I have, right? And here statement 3 and here statement 4. Let us consider, right? So now what happens? So here since this condition is evaluates to true, this will be executed, this will be executed, and here I encountered with continue. So what it means is here simply this will not be executed. Since I encountered with continue, this will not be executed. This statement 3 and 4 will not be executed. Simply the control will move over here. That is, it will check for the condition, and again if this is evaluates to true, again the statements will be executed, right? This is how the continue will be being worked. Now coming to the syntax, like break, here also the syntax is continue semicolon, right? And here I'm showing you with an example. while expression code block if condition for continue. Okay, for example, here within the while loop, here there is a condition. So within that I have written the continue statement. Then what happens? So here, since this condition is evaluates to true, since here I encountered with continue, so the remaining code will not be executed after the continue. Simply the control will move to while loop, right? That is what happened. This is a sample program which illustrates continue. Right, now let's see how the continue will be working with the sample program. So here I have j is equal to 0. So now j will be initialized with 0 and 0 is less than or equal to 8. Condition satisfied. So now what happened if j is equal to 4? Is that j is equal to 4? No. So now simply I'll come over here. Printf %d j. So here I'm writing the output. So what is the j value? 0. So 0 will be printed. Now what is the next thing? J++. J++ means j value will be incremented by 1. Now again 1 less than or equal to 8. Condition satisfied. Since the condition satisfied, now I am entering into over here. So is that j is equal to 4? No. So then here what is the next statement? Printf %d comma j. So what is the j value? 1. Now again j value will be incremented. Now it is 2. Now again I have checked the condition with 2 less than or equal to 8. Condition satisfied. Since 2 less than or equal to condition satisfied, since j is not equal to 4, this printf statement will be executed and then I'll be having the output as 2. Now again the j++. Now j will be incremented by 1 and the j value is 3. Now again 3 less than or equal to 8. Condition satisfied. Since j is not equal to 4, again here it will be executed the printf statement. So what is the output? 3. Now again j will be incremented. So now j value is 4. Now here if j is equal to 4, what is the statement? Continue. So which means that whenever I encountered with continue, it will skip the statements after the continue and it will increment the j value. That is nothing but it will that means it will perform the next iteration. It will skip the present iteration, but it will perform the next iteration. So coming to next iteration, the j value will be incremented with 5 and 5 less than or equal to 8 is true. So now 5 will be displayed and then 6 will be displayed and then 7 will be displayed and then 8 will be displayed. Right? This is about continue. Right? Is that clear, everyone? So here initially j will be incremented with 0 and then 0 is less than or equal to 8 since the condition evaluates to true. Here since j is not equal to 4, here this printf. So it will print the value of j. So likewise it will print up to the 3. Now when j is equal to 4, here I have encountered with continue. So when continue is encountered, so in that case the remaining statements after continue will not be executed, but the next iteration will be executed. Next iteration means the j will be incremented by 1. So then the j value is 5. Again 5 less than or equal to 8. Condition satisfied. So it will print the j value, that is 5. So likewise again 6 less than or equal to 8. 7 less than or equal to 8. 8 less than or equal to 8. Condition satisfied. So those will be printed. And again at last 9 less than or equal to 8 condition failed. So it will come out of the loop. Right? That is how this continue will be working. Now let's go with the next statement under unconditional statements, which is go to. So this is your output. Right? Now go to statement. Coming to go to statement. The go to statement is used to transfer the control from one block to another block or transfers the control to a specified label. Here the label is an identifier that specifies the place where the branch is to be made. Right? So here in general, for example, I have statement 1, statement 2, statement 3 and here I had given the name as label 1. Okay, label 1. Right? So now when I am giving go to, okay, here I have statement 4 and here when I say go to label 1, right, after that, so what happens is immediately the control moves over here. After executing this S4, again immediately the control moves to label 1 and the statements under label 1 will be executed. Right? So label can be any valid name, which is nothing but what are all the identifier rules. Those rules only applicable for naming a label also. What are the rules for naming the identifier? Here the identifier name should be begin with a letter but not with a digit, and the identifier name must not be a keyword in C, and also the identifier name should not include any special characters except underscore. Right? These are all the identifier rules to name the identifier. So the same rules or the same conventions we need to follow even for naming the label, right? Now the label is placed immediately before the statement where the control has to be transferred. The label, like to which place we need to transfer the control. So in that at that particular place only you are supposed to give the label. That is, here I want to repeat these statements. Okay, I want to transfer the control to this place. That's why I made label 1 over here. That is what the meaning of this particular point. Is it clear, everyone? Yes. Coming to the syntax of go to statement. So here go to label. Okay, go to label. So here I have label statements, right? I have label statements. So what happens whenever here I have go to label here, right? So immediately the control will transfer to this place and these statements will be executed. This is called forward jump because I am coming from this place to this forward jump. Whereas here go to label, here I have go to label. So label is before, right? So I need to backward, the control should go back and I need to execute the statements within this label. So go to label means here the control will go backward and executes these instructions, right? So this is a backward jump, forward jump and backward jump. And here go to label. So immediately the control comes to label place and then the statements which are with the label will be executed. This is a sample program on go to. So here I have two variables called n and sum. Sum is initialized with 0 and here read. Okay, read is a label. Here printf, enter a number 99 to enter a number 999 to exit, right? For example, let us consider I have entered a number called 5. So now n is equal to 5 because since here scanf %d address of n. So here enter a number, right? 5 I have entered. Now since 5 is not equal to 999, this will be executed. So if n is less than 0, so is that if n is less than 0? No, 5 is not less than 0. So simply sum plus is equal to n. So now what is the sum value? 0. 0 plus n, which is sum now initialized with 5. Right? Now go to read. So now again control will move to here. So now again enter a number. So again I will ask the user to enter a number. So for suppose I have entered 13. I have entered 13. Now what happened? Again n will be updated as 13. Now 13 is not equal to 999. Yes. Is that 13 is less than 0? No. Now what is the next statement? Sum plus is equal to n. Now what is the sum value? 5 plus. Sum plus means the meaning is sum is equal to sum plus n. This is the statement, right? Sum plus n will be calculated and it is assigned to sum variable. Now what is the sum? 5 plus n value is 13. Now this has to be initialized to sum. So now sum holds 18. 5 plus 13 which is equal to 18. Now again go to read. Now again I'll be getting a message called enter a number. So here I'll have entered 999. Have entered 999. So what is the meaning here? If n not equal to 999, yes, this condition is evaluated, right? Now since n is equal to 999, I will come out of this if block. Here I have a message, sum of the numbers entered by the user. So sum of the numbers entered by the user is equal to how much? The corresponding sum. Sum holds me 18. That 18 will be displayed. Understood? So whatever is the 18, that 18 will be displayed. So this is how the go to statement will be executed. Coming to the summary. So today we have seen unconditional statements under C programming. The unconditional statements means they will not have any conditions, but simply the control will move from one block of statements to another block of statements. Nothing but there will be a jumping from one statements to another, one block to another block, or the control will move to another place, one place to another place. So basically we have break, continue and go to and return. And in today's lecture we have finished break, continue and go to, right? And also we had seen the example programs. And coming to this return, right? Basically return is also a unconditional statement. Return is used for returning a value to the function. Returning a value to the function or program. Okay, for that we will use a return statement. And coming to the return statement, return space value semicolon is a syntax, right? Return value or variable, whatever you can specify it, right? Because in your main programs you are writing return 0 is a value, right? Return variable also, return a, return b, likewise also you can return to the function, right? So this is a syntax for your return statement, and in detail you will study this return statement in the functions concept. And this is a small assignment, my dear students. Write a C program to implement a simple calculator by using switch case and break, switch case incorporating with the break statement. Now write a C program, print even numbers up to the given range, even numbers up to the given range. Use continue when n is equal to 0, right? These are the two programs given as assignment. Please do it. Thank you. Thanks for listening to me. Stay home, stay healthy, be safe.